will be lying down on the floor. So obviously have all your props near you. I've got a bolster, you might not have one, and that's okay. So you might want to grab pillows, cushions, blankets, chair cushions, anything you've got, towels, you know, what do you call them, bath sheets, anything that you think you can use as a prop, so that you've got nice things to support you. And also you have your socks near you, all your nice things. You know, I should have actually said even a hot water bottle can be nice when you're doing a restorative practice, because it can kind of, you know, be quite soothing. But anyway, that's something for you to have when you do this practice on your own. So the first thing I'd like you to do is find a supine position of some description that allows you to fully relax and have a neutral spine. So you might notice after sleep sometimes we can feel a bit stiff in our neck and shoulders, especially if you tend to sleep on your side and in a fetal position. So you might just give your shoulders a little roll and open across the collarbones. The positioning of your body is such that your sit bones are directly underneath you. So you're not tilting back and curling, on the ground. So you're not sort of pushing into the ground, and you're not like rolling and curving and arching. So as you lie on the ground, you might just want to give your back a little movement, like a rocking movement, until you find a space in your lower back that feels really pleasant. And if lying on your back is not something that you are enjoying at the moment, then please feel free to take a side lying position. So find a side lying position which likewise allows you to settle. So the first thing I'd like you to do as you begin to settle down is maybe do any little shifts in your body, just some movements, some shaking, some stretching, whatever your body needs to allow it to arrive. You see, so much of the time, as we know, we are going around in our head, and even though we're doing physical activities, we're often still just stuck in our head and not really sinking down into our body. So these practices hopefully will help us to really come into our body and to be with ourselves as we are, as we find ourselves today, without judgment. And the beginning of the practice is going to be a time where we allow ourselves to just settle into this moment through our body. So where your body is making contact with the ground, just notice all the places touching the floor. Let them settle, broadening where you can, lengthening where it's possible to do so. And just lightly touch in to the places of contact. to the back of your skull, the space between your shoulder blades, parts of the rib cage, the pelvis, buttocks. Just allow all of that to settle down. And noticing your feet, your legs. Let them just sink down. Nothing they need to do. You don't have to be ready for action now. And we're going to just start to let our attention come into the body and rest. When we are living in a busy life, trying to manage everything, manage all the different parts of our world, we tend to operate from our sympathetic nervous system, this reactive way of living, which is exhausting. So when we come to do this practice, we're slowly encouraging our body to relax, our breath to settle, so that we can move into the parasympathetic response. That response which helps us to really deeply rest, to go into a very quiet and calm place. And as you lie here, you might then start to bring attention into the 3 dimensions of your body. Feel the 3 dimensions of your physical body and the space that you occupy. Feeling your clothes that are touching your body and the kind of contact that you have. If you have a blanket, let that, the sort of feeling of the blanket touching your hands, your legs. And then just be aware of the touch of the air on your skin, on the exposed parts of your body. And if you have your legs supported in some way, just check that you are not holding onto any tension in your legs. So adjust them, arrange them so that they can really relax. So if they're leaning into each other or if they're over a bolster or whatever they're doing, just let the legs relax. Feel the whole body in its space. And let your attention slowly sink down. And if you can, try to bring your attention into the soles of your feet. The soles of your feet are your connecting points. They connect you to the earth. They connect you very strongly. And just feeling that groundedness, the really helpful grounding feeling that we get when we take our attention to the soles of our feet. And now that you have arrived in your body a little bit more, you might want to take a sighing breath or two. You might feel the need to sigh and let go of any holding any tension. And you may need to do that a number of times during the early parts of the practice or even later. Sighing doesn't have a limit. You can sigh as many times as you like. It's a really good way to discharge tension and to free up the breath. So starting to let your attention go now into your three-dimensional body. Let your awareness go inside and feel the soft movements arising from within, from the belly into the chest. Feel the movement of your breath if that feels doable. Otherwise, keep your attention on the body, on the way the body rises and releases. And just take your time to notice yourself breathing. No effort is required here. You don't have to do anything with the breath or try to change it. Just let it feel very, very free and passive. With a gentle opening out as you inhale. And a steady gathering in as you exhale. And just feel the container of your body supporting the breath. The breath is the heart of the practice. Body movements are just the containers for that. And at any time, you take a sighing breath. And let go. And then as you start to let your attention go with breath, maybe noticing what's arising for you. You're not pushing anything away or trying to change it, but instead allowing thoughts to arise, letting them come up without resistance. And as you exhale, you invite them to pass without attachment. All the time, acknowledging them without judgment. Whatever is arising, there's space for it. Just open up the space as you observe the breath in. Space in the mind. Space in the body. And just let those thoughts, let those reactions float out to the periphery of your consciousness. There's no need to keep hanging on to them or, facing them off. You can just stay comfortably holding them. And then just coming back to the movement of your breath, to this very natural, organic flow that is happening to you. It connects you to that part of yourself that doesn't change. And if you feel at any time you need to, again, just sigh the breath out or blow the breath out through pursed lips just to release, especially if you have respiratory issues going on. That can be very helpful, just to, like you're playing a flute, blowing downwards. And then just keeping awareness here. I'm going to think about when we fall into the exhalation. At the end of each exhalation, there's a pause. Nothing happens in that pause. Very quiet, steady place. Just remind yourself that you can have quiet and peace whenever you like, if you just drop into the breath and see if you can wait for that moment. Don't force anything. Just let yourself have the space, have the time for yourself. And we're going to slowly invite some simple movements into our body. So today's practice is a very, very deeply restorative practice. So the movements, so in the summer, maybe we did a little more movement on the ground, a little bit more active. I mean, when I say active, it's a relative term in this class. So now, from this supine position, we're going to bring our attention to our legs. And if you feel you have the energy to do this today, and you may not, you can bend your knees and place the soles on the floor. If you have a bit of energy, you can do that and then let the knees drop in towards each other. So, I mean, actually, if you get the legs in the right position, it's just the bones stacking on each other and leaning in. So you're not really using a lot of muscular energy there, but you let the knees drop in if you like. This helps us to bring our lower back into neutral. And we are bringing our attention into our arms. And the arms are just resting at the side of the body. Sigh. And then just noticing the out breath. Slowly roll onto the palms of the hands. And then see if you can take your weight to the outer thumbs as the shoulders gently roll inwards. And then wait for an inhalation to arise and start to bring the hands back to the palms, onto the outer edges of the little fingers, backs of the hands, and then over onto the outer edges of the thumb and opening the chest a little bit. So just gently rolling like that, as if you were just covering your arms completely. And I like to think of some kind of glowing, fabulous glittery thing. Obviously, even eco-friendly glitter is not really allowed now. But you could imagine some kind of shimmering substance that you're rolling your arms in and bringing them to life. So when you've done that a few times, then let the arms relax. So maybe give your shoulders a little shrug or just move them around. And just resting there. And then we're going to, from there, just softly keeping the arms on the floor, just sliding the hands, letting them glide along the ground and take them out so that they come into a cross shape in line with your shoulders, and then slide them down and bring them back and then close to your body. Again, you can do that, and this time you can go a little bit further if your shoulders and arms will allow. And exhale, come down. So you're just gently dragging the arms along the ground. If it's not possible to move that much, just take the opening a little bit wider and then bring it back. And then eventually you might find you can get your arms over your head, but please don't force anything. Try to keep this languid quality of the arms really heavy, just dragging along the floor. And just opening your chest as you do that. So we're gently encouraging some opening into our rib cage and our chest without forcing. And then when you're ready, just bring your hands and let them rest on your tummy or on your rib cage. And we're just noticing now, again, the breath moving in and out. Okay. So keeping the attention on that passive, pleasant breath. On the next inhalation, see if you can lift your arms up off the floor. Let them float up to wherever it feels reasonable and comfortable for you. And then exhale, lower the arms slowly down, let them float. And as you inhale, take the arms up. Now, gradually you may find that you can take the arms right over your head and let them land on the floor, but that might not be desirable. So please listen to the body and feel that opening. Again, let it be that the breath in lifts the arms and the breath out lowers them down. Okay, and then the next time that you bring the arms down, we're going to come into Arpanasana. So we just bring the knees in towards our body and let the hands rest, either curling the fingers over the knees or bringing the hands around the sides of the legs, whatever position feels most comfortable for you. Allow your arms to relax, let the shoulders soften. And then we'll wait for an inhalation as we float our knees away. And then the exhalation, very soft and passive, inviting the thighs in. So just letting a little pause maybe arise there. And then as you inhale, let the knees go as far away as possible while still just touching the knees. A little curve in your lower back. And then exhale, keeping your attention focused on the breath in this moment. And at any time, if you notice that there's activation of the nervous system, just come back into your body and really feel what's happening. Sensing the movement arising from the breath. Experiencing the back of the body gently sliding up and down, a little bit of movement there in the back. Feel it contacting the ground a little more as you draw the knees in towards you. And as you inhale, feel a little shift away with your lumbar spine as the knees float away. And just take a few more of those. If you want to stop at any time, just rest. Okay. And then bring your feet down onto the floor. We're going to just do some very gentle rotation now of the lower body. So if you have your feet hip width apart, you're going to let your right leg start to drop over to the right. And then slowly let your left leg follow it. Very gentle, don't have to go all the way to the floor, just go where it feels all right for you. And then on an inhalation, bring the knees back. And as you exhale, let the left leg drop first, and then I'll let the right leg follow. So we're going to bring the right leg up now. Open out between the legs, a little tiny stretch as you then move over to the other side. So this is like kind of windscreen wiper movement, except that you're going to take one leg first and let the other leg follow. So it's a bit like you've got a piece of elastic in between your legs, and one leg comes up and it gently tugs the elastic and the other leg will follow. There's a sort of momentum there between the two legs. And maybe just do a couple more of those just to ease out any stagnation in your lower back and to bring your lower body into a feeling of ease and pleasantness. Now, if you have had enough movement, just stop and rest. Let yourself stay with the breath. And we're going to then, when we've done, just bring our knees in again and give them a little hug. So just draw the knees in and give them a little hug. A little sigh, and you can roll over onto your side. And stay there for a moment before slowly making your way up into sitting. Okay. So we're going to do our first restorative posture. And I'm going to talk you through a little bit of what we're doing here as we do it, so you can be really resting. Now, this is just it's just a breath opener, really. And if you've got a bolster, you can use your bolster for this. But if you haven't, I'll show you how to make a support. I'll do it this way, actually. So I'm using a couple of blocks, but you can use some pillows or folded blankets or towels. And then I'm going to put my bolster here. So this creates a little sort of the first part, and then I've got it on a slight incline. If I'm using cushions and pillows, then I can make, it's basically a sloping support. Yeah, so I've got so I have a couple of pillows there, and then I gradually prop them up like that. And then when I've done that, when I've got this sort of thing, I'm going to take a blanket or a little pillow, put it across the top. A second. There, like that. And then I take another blanket, towel, whatever, and pop it over there. And just tuck it in. And if I want it higher, then obviously I can lift this with a couple more pillows. It's really up to you how much of an incline you would like. The same goes for the bolster. I've got 2 blocks there, but you might only have 1. Okay. So I'll show you now what we're going to do with our inclining support. So this will be a little, you want to be a little distance away from it so that you don't create a kind of lump in your lower back. Because what we'd like to do here is just gently curve into our lower back into a neutral curve and then go back. So with if you've made your own support, make sure that your head isn't doing this. So whatever you do, you might want to have a couple more blankets and things so that your forehead and chin are aligned and your chest is open. that will allow you to breathe easily. If you are experiencing any respiratory difficulties at the moment, so Sharon, you might want to be a bit higher with your support if you feel that would help. And underneath the legs, we're going to take either a rolled up blanket or a couple of cushions. If you're lucky enough to have 2 bolsters, then you can use another bolster, and just pop that underneath your knees and let your legs do that, yeah? And then you can lie in this position and just begin to get a sense of opening across your rib cage. So I'm just going to have a look. If anyone's not sure about their props, give me a shout and I can help you. Oh, that looks good, Sharon. Are you all right there? Yeah, that looks good. That looks brilliant. See how it goes. If you need any more, you know, what can happen with cushions and things is they can sink down a little bit. So you just see how it goes there. And just make sure you've got something underneath your knees. You got anything to go under your knees? A cushion or something? Yeah. How you doing, Lydia? That looks good. Yeah, that looks brilliant. Claire, I can't see you, so I'm hoping that you're all right down there. You okay? Yeah. Excellent. Good. Okay. Ah, there you are, just being held and supported by the props and ensuring that you, especially around your shoulders and your upper body, that you're not hanging on to anything. You know, you haven't got sort of coat hanger shoulders that are pulled right up. So just draw them down and really begin to observe there the support that allows relaxation. So when we are held, we are able to let go. It's the tendency of being afraid to let go, where we are holding ourselves together, that creates the tension, that creates the difficulty. If you need to have a blanket or something over you, then obviously grab yourself a little blanket or a little shawl, whatever you need. And sometimes it can be really nice to have a covering for your eyes, even at this early stage in the practice. You might find that your eyes are a bit busy, you know, there's still a little bit of a residue from using the senses to bring in information. So you can take a sigh. Let go. And really hunker down. You know, the point of the restorative work is to really give your nervous system the signal that it's okay to let go, that it's all right to rest. So much of our modern life is predicated upon this idea that we have to work harder in everything, even in our leisure pursuits. Everything seems to be a struggle, everything seems to be a fight. And one of the great things about yoga is that it is not a fight with the body, or it shouldn't be. And the meditation side of this shouldn't be a fight with the mind. And the pranayama should not be a fight with the breath. So all of it is ease, pleasantness. We're looking to find that. And at this time of year, this transition is always a bit tricky. We're at the threshold of winter. And Ayurvedically, we're always looking to ground and stabilize, and also to strengthen a vulnerable immune system. We are vulnerable at this time of year, and so Ayurveda suggests lots of really great things to help us to stabilize. For example, I normally drink lemon and ginger, but in winter I add cloves and pepper, black pepper, and that's really helpful for my respiratory tract, and also the tastes of that are more grounding and warming. We've got all the wonderful root vegetables now that we can have, and again, they are extremely grounding. Soups and stews are really great and easy to digest. We want easy to digest food that is going to nourish us. And in terms of our body, we want to warm it up. We want to find ways to keep it warm and soothed. Warm oil massage. If you've got sesame oil, proper organic sesame oil, or olive oil is sometimes suggested, but sesame oil is the best, really. Just every morning, massage the main joints of your body. Give them a little circling rub. If you have time, try to massage maybe once, twice, or 3 times a week the whole of your body before you have a shower. And then you have a warm shower which drives the oil in. And again, this is very nourishing. And all of these practices, they all point to the same thing, which is that we want to support and nourish ourselves both on the outside and on the inside. So in our practice today, we're looking at building strength from inside in our physical practice. The strength comes from our connection to the breath, and to this reminder that whatever is going on for us now, if there is anxiety, if there is difficulty or challenge, this can exhaust us. But if we hold it safely, we can allow these challenges to elevate us rather than diminish us. So rather than, the simplistic, popular, positive thinking, we use the profound tools of yoga to awaken our inner knowing. There's a part of us, sometimes described as the one who knows. Mahanji describes it as the eternal caring companion at our centre. But connecting to that is really essential. That wisdom that we all have inside of ourselves. And the tools of yoga help us to connect to that wisdom, to create inner support. So just letting your attention follow the movement in your body, perhaps starting to notice around your rib cage, across your chest, into your back, that there's some pleasant movement. There is an opening followed by a receding. Just take your time to notice it, to sense it. There's nothing you have to do. You don't have to make anything change. You can just observe what is there. And if it feels comfortable, go inside the body, go into the nostrils. You feel at the base of the throat there's a little contact. or perhaps this very subtle movement inside the rib cage and the belly. Just take your time to be absorbed in the present moment experience of breathing. Comfortable, pleasant, easy, and supportive. And at the end of each exhalation, just notice the moment before the breath in arises, making sure you're fully empty. Allow the out-breath to go to the very end before the breath in naturally arises. Not a big effort, you don't have to force anything. Just feeling that you're moving towards quiet steadiness and maybe a little more clarity around the things that are challenging for you at the moment. So again, we're not pushing those things away. We're just reminding ourselves that we've got plenty of space and time. And this space and time here is for you. This is for you to rest and recover, find clarity and lightness. Okay, so we're just going to take a few more breaths here. And then slowly make your way up from this position. Okay, so don't be in a hurry. You might want to roll onto your side first and stay on your side for a couple of breaths. And then slowly make your way up. And we're going to keep that prop there for the next thing that we're going to do. Is everybody okay? Just give me a thumbs up if you need anything. Just send me a little message. If you've got any questions or anything, you can just ask me. Okay, so what we're going to do now is just a very gentle, really gentle upper body rotation. So at the beginning, in that little bit of movement, we just very subtly began to move our lower back. The postures that we do here, yes, you know, in many resources, it's just you get into the postures and you just stay there. But we do need to remove stagnation. We do need to make sure that we're not, sorry, there's a dog next door and I think it's going for a walk, so it's got a little bit excited. Oh, really, really barking now. Okay, so apologies for that. Hopefully by the time we get into the pose, it will have gone out for its walk. So You're sitting sideways with your legs just going out like that. They, there's no right position for them. It just needs to feel comfortable for you. And you're going to bring your hip right next to your support there, okay? Now, I'll just demonstrate to you the way we're going to work in and out of this. We're going to just do a couple of gentle movements, and I'll leave it to you as to how much you go, you know, how many times you go into this. You might want to get straight into it and rest, but you might join me for these 3 movements. So what we do is we take a breath in, and as we breathe out, we're going to just sweep the arm round and turn to face, just turn. So we're just creating that little rotation. Then we'll inhale, bring the arm up, and exhale, place it down, all right? Then the subsequent repetitions, we just go a little bit closer and a little bit closer to the bolster until eventually place our body down and just rest like that. So it's a very subtle rotation. The legs are out and then you can rest down like so. Okay, so just make sure your little bolster is in the right position for you. And take a breath in and sigh. And then wait for the breath in to gently encourage the arm to lift. As you exhale, you're turning to face the bolster. And then we'll inhale and lift. And exhale, bring the arm down. So it's like you're turning inwards as you exhale towards that quiet, steady place. And then you inhale, lift. And exhale, lower down. And this time, we inhale, and as we exhale, we slowly meet the bolster. And just check that you're comfortable. Now, some people don't like to turn as much. Some people like to be a bit more open. So I'll leave that to you. I like to turn and bring my arms right down. But you're going to stay here for a little while, not too long. Just enough for the back to gently open out and for you to bring your focus into the back of your body and feel the breath across the back body there. So just allowing yourself to feel the support of what's beneath the body. And progressively, with each out breath, to give yourself permission to rest. And just imagining that as you start to sink into this supportive posture, that you're aware of the one who knows, that caring companion inside of you, and feeling how it holds you, how they are always there to support you, helping you to see the bigger picture, just to open up your awareness, remain calm and clear. Keep that clarity around what is arising for you, not pushing anything away or forcing anything to change. Instead, just settling. So sometimes when we lie still, we notice that the mind starts to get busy and we can feel a bit distracted. So just bring your attention back to the breath, to the quiet sound of the breath. Allow it to steady you. And again, sigh when you need to. To bring you back into this present moment experience of the breath. Taking your time to be here in the body with your breath. So just have this sense of really connecting to the earth through these floor-based practices. And let the earth be a support. Let it bring that grounded feeling. So the Buddha said, "The earth is my witness." Making your mind like this firmness and steadiness of the earth. And as you let the solidity of your body really sink in, just think about then the lightness of the breath, the lightness and brightness of the breath that's arising within you to give you life, to give you strength. And bringing these two together, the breath and the body, you're going to very slowly make your way up into sitting. And just notice how you are before we go on to the other side. So I'm just going to check in with you all and make sure that you're all right. Yeah. So you might, if you know, my bolster sometimes gets a bit limp there in the middle, so give it a little bit of a plump up so that it stays nice and firm. And then we're going to bring our legs to the other side. So you don't need to move your bolster, I'm just moving mine so that you can see me and I can see you. So again, it might be quite different on the opposite side because we are not symmetrical creatures at all, even though we might think we are. So just let the legs go where it feels comfortable for you. And just take a moment to check in. How are you temperature wise? Do you need to put on another sweater or some socks? Just make sure that you are as comfortable as can be. And then sitting next to your bolster, we'll just do those gentle rotations. Again, if you feel ready to go straight down, then by all means just sink into your support. So this time, let's bring in a little mantra. So I always, as you know, like to use sound as an anchor for the intention or the bhavana. And because we are looking for a feeling of groundedness and stability, we want to connect to that stability at our center. And I really like to use something which has like a consonant sound that is kind of like a humming sound. That has a very grounding effect. And we're going to use Namaha. Namaha is this beautiful mantra which we use all through our practice, which means that you're connecting to this place at your center, because you're saying, not me, not mine. The thoughts and the stories and all the agitation, all the things that my overworked senses bring in, this is not who I am. These are things that I'm responding to. I am that part inside of me, this eternal caring companion, the one who knows. That is me, and it doesn't change. And so by reminding myself to put down the things that are not me, I mean, I have to think, I have to process to live in the world, I have to make sense of it, but that's what I want to connect to. So I'll just do it a couple of times with you. So it's Namaha, Namaha, Namaha. If you share a house and you don't want to do it out loud, it's fine. You can just whisper it to yourself, but have that feeling of that connecting to the quietness inside, the one who knows. So breathing in, Namaha, Namaha, Namaha. And then let's just chant that a few more times quietly. Namaha, Namaha, Namaha. Gradually let that dissolve and let yourself connect with this part that is not changing, that is always steady and present. Again, allow yourself to connect with the earth beneath you, the elements that give us birth, that give us life. Reminder how we're connected always to that. And the one who knows, the witnessing part of the self, that we connect to when we repeat Namaha. Witnessing the value and dignity of ourselves as a human. We witness that. It's transformative. It's a ground from which wisdom and compassion can arise. So let the one who knows witness your value, your dignity. And be grounded in that connection. Steadiness within. And as you sink into the support, feel that mirrored in the steadiness of the ground beneath you. So much is changing, so much in the outer world is shifting. You can't do anything about that, but we can change our mind and the way we talk to ourselves, and the way we respond to the outer things, the way we respond to all the things that our senses experience. So just dialing down your senses now in this position, or if you change position, just wherever you find yourself. I'm going to take a couple more breaths there and slowly, slowly make your way up. Okay, so you might want to just stretch out or go on your back and bring your knees in and have a little rock there. And while I just show you the side lying today. So today's class is pretty standard issue versus restorative. I'm keeping it really simple so that you can just really sink into the postures, really let yourself go to the ground, go to the earth. Even if every day you choose one of these postures, one of the simple ones, it could be side lying or it could be the legs up one that we're going to do, to have 15 minutes in, it will benefit you massively. It will benefit your nervous system and your breathing, and therefore every other system, every other part of you. So I'm making a pillow that is as wide as my shoulder, between the base of my neck and the tip of my shoulder. This is the width that I want my pillow to be. So that if it's too small, my head will do this. And if it's too puffy, it'll push my head that way. And so I'll be cranking there. So any side lying position, including sleeping, requires you to have that kind of support. Now, I've got the bolster there that's going to go underneath my rib cage, but those of you who find or don't have a bolster or find the bolster is too much, then you're going to take a blanket or towel and do that with it. You can make it into like a little platform like that, yeah? So, in fact, I'll use something else for my pillow. And again, you can adjust how much height you decide to have. You might not want as much as that. But because this is a bit more flat, it's easier to adjust. So I'll just take my blocks in my head. Okay, so when we do side lying, it doesn't seem like a lot of these postures, they don't really seem like very much, but when we allow our spinal column to extend laterally, we release a lot of very, very small muscles and areas of connective tissue along the back where it's quite difficult to get in and out. And so this can seem like we're only really working this bit, but actually it has an effect to down and up along the spine. So it's really good refresher for your back. So whatever posture, whatever props you're using for this posture, you want to bring the rib cage down and make sure that the head of the shoulder can touch the ground. So if this is too high, you'll be sort of suspended and that will create tension, all right? So you do need to make sure you have, that it's not a tense position. And then, see, I've got my pillow, so my neck is a continuation of the spinal column. And that feels lovely. When I stroke the back of my neck, there's a little curve there, and there's a little curve in my lumbar. And bringing the knees up to a comfortable position and just letting the hand rest. Okay, so just taking your time to come into that, and I'll just have a look, and if anybody needs any help with propping, let me know. You all right, Sharon? Let's have a look. Yes, so you've made the bolster, that's the purple bit's the bolster, yeah? Yeah, and then you want it sideways like that, yeah, and then you've got a pillow at the top, have you? Yes, I can see that. That looks good. Fabulous. So it's looking like I might be coming in and out of stable and unstable internet here. I apologise for any wobbles. Okay, so if you come to sit sideways there, and then drop your rib cage down, and then drop your shoulder and bring your head down. And sometimes if you have a tendency, if you've got a little bit of laxity in your sacroiliac joint, that's where the sacrum goes into the pelvis, you can put a folded blanket in between your knees when you're on your side, and that just allows you to feel a bit more stable there. So that's an option for some of you if you feel you need that. I'm just going to check you're all in position. And again, you might want to cover yourself up with a blanket. Okay, and make sure that your knees are more or less lined up with your hips. That's always a good position because it keeps the lower back from going out of neutral. Now today, we're going to really just focus on our upper body here. And before we come to stay, we're going to just do some very gentle movements. So here's what it is. You're just letting the arm be really heavy and just let it drag along the side of the body, go to touch the other hand, and then come up to the side of your ear. And then come down. And if you find that too much, keep your elbow bent, and bring the hand back. Yeah, so keep the elbow bent, that will be less intense. And again, inhale. And as we exhale, so just do that 3 more times with the Namaha. Letting go. So you inhale, bring the arm up, over the ear, extend the side body. Namaha. again. Inhale. The arm comes up. And one more time, set the arm, move gently up and over, extending the ribcage. Now, you can choose to stay with the hand on the belly and the shoulder rolling back, or if you prefer, you can bring the arm over the ear and just open into your ribcage. Only do that if you don't have impingement issues in the shoulder. So see what feels nicest. Close your eyes, gazing in, and just start to fall into the breath. So the breath is rising and releasing at its own comfortable pace. There is barely any effort at all there. That breath is a really natural flow. But have your arm where it feels that you don't feel fidgety, where you feel like you can really deeply rest. You can take a sighing breath if you like. You sigh and let go. Let go of what you don't need today. And again, just letting this caring companion there at the center hold you safely. One that knows, witnessing you, witnessing your value, witnessing your strength. And just following the breath out. Letting it take you into the quiet strength there at your center. So this gentle gathering that happens when you breathe out. And then when you breathe in, there's a soft opening. Any time that you notice that your mind is wandering, maybe come back to Namaha, to that mantra that reminds you that you aren't your thoughts. You're not this constructed idea of yourself, but that you are something greater than that. You have all the strength you need inside of you. And just let this lightness allow you to become centered and stable and grounded. Even in the midst of whatever is happening outside, finding that groundedness, finding that stability. And come back to it like a safe harbour, a place of sanctuary. Just following your breath, taking your time, let the breath bring you into the here and now. Becoming the witness, connecting to the witnessing self. And in a moment or two, and there's no hurry, you can slowly think about how you're going to spiral up out of this posture. And change sides. Maybe just sit for a moment before you change sides. And then we'll take the body ready to open. And remember, we're opening all around this heart area. So just coming down slowly onto the bolster, dropping the shoulder and bringing the head down. If you need to have a little pillow in between your knees, do. Check the lumbar and the neck for neutral alignment, so there's no, not bringing the head forwards or collapsing. And just settling in. Have your blanket, whatever you need to get as comfortable as you possibly can. And then a little sigh. And just accepting where you are right now, just being present in this body, here in this moment. And then again, just letting that top arm feel really heavy. And then slowly just slide it up. Bring it over the ear, lengthen through the side body. And you can chant quietly. Namaha. Putting down what is not mine, I don't need to carry anymore. And inhale, let the arms slowly float up, opening the side body. And one more time, breathing in. Namaha. And then just start to settle with whichever arm position you would like to stay in for this. It can be with a hand on the belly, on the hips, or with the arm over the head. Just play around with it. Find what feels good for you. Remember, there's always choices. There's never one way to do anything. Any of these postures has a myriad number of ways to find comfort, to find pleasantness. And again, just allow your attention to drop into the softness of the breath, rising and releasing, easy and pleasant. And if the mind wanders, which it probably will from time to time, it's what the mind is designed to do. The mind is designed to think, to process, to make sense of things. Just come back to sensing and feeling, being in your body with your breath. Allowing the gentle blossoming of the breath in to open into your rib cage, into the side body. And as you exhale, feel the gathering of the out breath, drawing you into the quiet strength at your center, the quiet strength of the witnessing self, the one who knows, never judgy, can never be hurt or injured. Whatever happens to us in our life, this witnessing self remains steady, remains stable. And we can be grounded and centered into that in the midst of the most challenging difficulties. We can go to that place of sanctuary. We're not pushing anything away. We're just allowing ourselves to be held by this eternal, caring companion. So in a moment, and there's no hurry, just gently begin to invite some movement into your body, extending your top leg down along the mat, along the ground, and spiraling up, and then just come up and notice how you are. And we're going to just lie on our back first and just let the spine settle. So just notice the two sides of the back now. Okay. So before we go into our yoga nidra today, I'd like to just do a little energy boosting posture with the legs up. So it's the same thing that we did before. So you're going to get your props to make a little platform. You can use a chair if you'd rather. If you don't want to do this, you want to go a little bit more deeply, then you can be near a chair or something like a chair, whatever, and put your legs on it and then come down. And you know, some of you who do this, the restorative class with me regularly, will know that you sometimes put something up there so that the legs can be straight. But just keep it very loose today, very loose and very relaxed, because you want to feel the back really settling into the ground. So if you're using your pile of pillows or bolster, and I, for this, because we're moving towards the final pose, I like to wrap my feet up in the blanket like that, so that they feel like they're really, just do this. So it feels like they're really snug. So however you do it, just wrapping them up to keep the legs together, and then come down and bring your arms to relax, let the feet soften, and just feel that slight incline of the legs, either on the support or the chair, to bring a drainage of blood back to the heart, and just to boost the cardiovascular system a little bit. And this, if you're lying flat on the ground, you want to have your forehead and chin parallel to the floor. So you want your back, unless, Sharon, you keep a prop for your breathing, but everybody else, you want to try and have your forehead and chin parallel to the ground if you can. If you notice that your chin is sticking up when you've got your head on the ground, then you just do need to have a little something underneath your head to bring the head into position. And maybe move your shoulders down away from your ears, broaden across your chest. Take a nice big sighing breath as you start to settle, and allow your body this opportunity to really, really rest. So now that your back again is being supported by the earth, allow yourself to really settle in to that firmness, to that feeling of firm support, to remind you of the firm support at your center. Allow your legs to have this reverse position and to be light and spacious, to release any doing, any feeling of busyness. That can all go now. Again, just allowing yourself to be here in this moment with your breath. Just reminding yourself that you can't stop the things that are going on outside. You just accept that they are there. we can change our own mind's response to the things that are happening by connecting with this wise, compassionate friend at our centre. As we face the frustration and conflict, we can invite a sense of our own dignity and value into our practices. We can sit up and we can stand up and we can feel that dignity and that strength, that quiet strength growing with each breath, with each practice that we take, with each moment's peace that we give to ourselves. Have respect for yourself, the patience of compassion. Again, think about that constant, compassionate companion there that will always support you, witnesses everything but judges nothing. And now that the body is starting to settle, your mind may be active. Again, come back to Namaha, simple mantra for connecting us to this quiet place at our center. So you could just repeat it internally. Namaha. 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 Let it repeat over and over and connect and ground yourself to that when the mind wanders. So very slowly, just bringing your legs down and in towards you, give them a little hug, and then when you've done that, change position for your final relaxation posture. So whatever you want, if you want to prop yourself up, as we did at the beginning, if you want to just be on your side, if you like to go just into Shavasana, whatever position you take, it wants to be one that you can stay in for a good 20 minutes or so. And again, having the blankets and socks and things you need to get really comfortable and just to feel like you're able to be steady. So, you know, probably now at the end of the practice, you might not need such a lot of support under your head, but you might still need that. You might still want to prop yourself up. A bolster under your knees can be nice. And we're just going to maybe do a little bit of shaking before we go into it. So have your blanket next to you, unless you can shake with your blanket on you without disturbing it, that's also fine. But it's just nice at the end of the stilling practice to just take any last bits of stagnation that might be there. So if you just come into position and then have your legs in and your arms at your side, just ready to do the shaking. Okay. So when you're ready, you can bring your arms in the air and your legs in the air and just let them wobble very gently. You're just wobbling all the flesh, getting it to sort of separate from the bones a little bit. Wobble it like that. And then maybe the ankles and the feet, try and get them to really wobble, and then the wrists and the hands, you're trying to get the hands and the wrists to come off, and then maybe just randomly move the arms and legs around a little bit, like a baby in its crib, just shaking about. And then when you've done, let the arms and the legs release down and feel the tingling sensation in the limbs. So drawing all your props together to get nice and comfortable and really settle in. And so this, I mean, it's a really simple practice to steady the nervous system and to cultivate a little bit of energy. The leg raise position is really excellent for that. So, but also the side opening is one of the things that is often related to fatigue is the tightness we get in the thoracic spine. If we don't keep on top of that, it really affects our breath and it really affects our energy levels. So opening there is important. So just settling in, finding your sort of snuggliness that you really can get comfortable. Make sure your legs are relaxed in whatever position you want to place them, over a support, so you've got a little cushion underneath them, on a raised, raised thing of blankets, or with the knees bent and the legs just dropping in towards each other, whatever of those you prefer. And just take a moment to settle into your body and to feel the back body resting down. So you want to feel that you're really settled on the ground And any last bits of movement that you think you need to take to get just a little bit more comfortable there. Sigh if you need to. Let go. And reconnect to that place of sanctuary where the constant steadiness of your witnessing self exists. Unchanging, stable, peaceful and strong. And we just allow the whole body to rest down and bring our awareness to our environment, to the sounds of our environment that are coming and going. And notice that all sounds have a beginning and a middle and an end. Let them arise and let them dissolve. And bring your attention then into your body as you dial down the senses and slowly move in to the soft, pleasant breath, rising and releasing inside. So we're going to bring our attention into our physical body and just gently scan around it without any agenda. So we're not trying to imagine it or move it, but it's as though we're just dropping a little light into each place, bringing a feeling of energy and upliftment as we travel around the body. So we'll start with the right hand and take our attention to the right hand thumb, index finger, second finger, ring finger, little finger, palm of the hand, back of the hand, wrist, forearm, elbow, upper arm, shoulder, underarm, rib cage, waist, hip, buttock, thigh, knee, shin, calf, ankle, front of foot, sole of foot, big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, little toe. Feel the whole of the right side of the body relax, and then shift your attention to the left hand side. The left hand thumb, index finger, second finger, ring finger, little finger, palm of the hand, back of the hand, wrist, forearm, elbow, upper arm, shoulder, rib cage, waist, hip, buttock, thigh, knee, shin, calf, ankle, front of foot, sole of foot, big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, little toe. Feel the whole of the left side of the body resting down, relaxing. And then bring both sides together and feel the whole body beginning to rest and settle. And now take your focus to your face, to the lips, teeth, tongue, floor of the mouth, roof of the mouth, inner walls of the cheeks, right cheek, left cheek, tip of the nose, right nostril, left nostril, bridge of the nose, right eye socket, left eye socket, right eyeball, left eyeball, right eyelid, left eyelid, inner corner of the right eye, inner corner of the left eye, outer corner of the right eye, outer corner of the left eye, right temple, left temple, forehead, scalp, back of the neck, the right side of the spine, the left side of the spine, the back of the right leg, the back of the left leg. Bring your attention into the whole body resting down, anchored to the ground, stable and grounded, steady and calm. And then allow your awareness to move inside the body. Go inside the body to sense the inner touch of the breath, to feel the gentle, expansive quality of your inhalation, radiating outwards from inside your chest. And then sensing as you exhale the gathering, dissolving of your exhalation as your body condenses to release the breath. And inhale, find the space, find the opening. And continue to follow the breath in this way. Just a pleasant movement that is taking place with no effort from you. That which animates you, gently lifting and gently releasing. Start to bring in the mantra in your mind, Namaha, and connect it with the quiet, witnessing part of yourself. Your mind wanders. Just come back to that and bring forth the feeling of tenderness and compassion that arises there. Let that compassion keep coming up like green shoots always arising, whatever happens. You're planting these seeds of compassion to bring about equanimity and peace within yourself, steadiness. very slowly going to bring your attention back into your body and start to invite some movement there. It might be that there's a needing to stretch and open and really enter into your day, back into your Saturday, ready for whatever is coming your way this week, all prepared. Or maybe there's a feeling that you want to gather, that you want to draw into that quiet strength and really feel it. You might feel that you want to have a little shake. Just do what you need before rolling onto your side and slowly coming up to sit. So take your time. Don't be in a hurry. Okay, so just letting the spine feel buoyant and long. I'm going to read a little poem and then we'll close. It's something that I've read before, but I do think it bears repeating. It's such a beautiful little blessing. It's called Blessing in the Chaos. To all that is chaotic in you, let there come silence. Let there be a calming of the clamouring, a stilling of the voices that have laid their claim on you, that have made their home in you, that go with you even to the holy places, but will not let you rest, will not let you hear your life as with wholeness or feel the grace that fashioned you. Let what distracts you cease. Let what divides you cease. Let there come an end to what diminishes and demeans, and let depart all that keeps you in its cage. Let there be an opening into the quiet that lies beneath the chaos, where you find the peace you did not think possible and see what shimmers within the storm. So just bringing your hands together in Anjali there at your heart center. The thumbs are inside the hollowness of the hands, reminding us of that steady place at our center. And we'll just chant 3 Oms and 3 Shantis in the traditional way to close today's practice. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. And then just bringing your chin down, gazing in. Take a moment to honor and appreciate the many sages and teachers who came before and whose wisdom and compassion now mean that we can connect to our own wisdom and compassion there at our center. So think about what you can bring into your week from the practice today. Don't have to do a lot to get quiet. And when you're ready, just allow your eyes to open and lift up your head.